a luxury hot tub designer and manufacturer, now expands its presence in Elgin at 1320 Gateway Drive. A child missing from South Elgin has been found safe after 6 years. Kayla Unbahan has been located alive at Asheville, North Carolina. Her mother, Heather Unbahan, standing accused of child abduction following a custody loss. The pair were identified by an employee of a secondhand clothing store who remembered them from a feature on Unsolved Mysteries. With your AM 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Get the one and done you want for your dog's monthly protection. NexGard Plus, a Foxalon or Moxidectin and Pyrantel chewable tablets. Protects against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms. All in one delicious beef-flavored soft chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection prior to starting a preventive. Ask your vet about NexGard Plus chews.
Progressive asks, what do a late-night pizza craving,
Pizza place. Can I get one large pepperoni pizza?
a newly licensed teen delivery driver, a guaranteed delivery time or its free offer, and your front fence have in common?
Uh-oh.
That's my fence!
They can turn your stomach upside down in under 30 minutes.
I'm still getting a tip, right?
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Everyone has a community to lean on. A neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. You've talked with your kids and shared clear expectations, but you're not with them every minute. Your community members, friends and relatives, teachers and coaches, faith leaders, and other important adults in your kids' lives can be your eyes, ears, and a supportive influence when you're not around, reinforcing your messages with your kids and alerting you to warning signs of underage drinking or other substance use. So talk with your kids about these issues and involve the members of your community to help keep your kids safe. Because when you talk, they hear you.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
NCAA men's hoops this Thursday, Sweet 16 East Regional, 3rd seed Illinois battles 2nd seed Iowa State. The Cubs are set for opening day. They made some roster moves on Monday. Outfielder Alexander Canario, right-hander Hayden Wisniewski optioned to AAA Iowa. The team also released catcher Jorge Alfaro. The Wizards beat the Bulls 107-105 last night. DeMar DeRozan 27 points in the loss. Chicago drops to 34-38. For Washington, it was their season-high 3rd straight win. The Wizards just 14-58 on the season, 8-30 away from home. Chicago's lost 3 in a row. They're 9th in the East, a game and a half ahead of Atlanta. NHL, the Blackhawks host the Flames tonight. Puck drop at 7:30 at United Center. Chicago already eliminated from playoff contention. They're coming off a 5-4 victory on the road at San Jose. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Taco Bell just dropped the new Cravings Value Menu. Now you can get 10 items for $3 or less, which means you can get the food you want for the price you want. It's almost like you can have your cake and eat it too. But in this case, it's a double-stacked taco from the new Cravings Value Menu. So basically, you can have your double-stacked taco and eat it too, which is a lot crunchier than cake. The new Cravings Value Menu is here. Get it at Taco Bell today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Tax extra.
And now Martha Stewart for Skechers. When I make a dish or embark on a craft project, I always use the finest, most fabulous ingredients and materials. Which is why, when it comes to footwear, I love Skechers. Because Skechers is the comfort technology company and uses the most luxurious, innovative materials and designs to make wondrously comfortable footwear with all the fits and features like Arch Fit and Skechers' world-famous air-cooled memory foam. It's exactly the way I'd make
Clocking out? Drive home with the Drive Time Deal with Matt McNeil on WRMN 1410 AM every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. I bring you the hottest deals in town, the most intriguing stories, and the tracks that take the edge off rush hour. Tune in on 1410 AM. Catch us on YouTube Live at WRMN Radio or stream through our app. I've got the wheel to steer your evening right. WRMN 1410 AM, your home of radio shopping and the soundtrack to your commute.
Rise and shine, Fox Valley listeners. It's time to kickstart your day with First Shift with Marky B on WRMN 1410 AM. From 6 to 9 a.m., join the chatter that gets you clued in with the latest buzz around town. Don't just sip on your coffee. Let Marky B brew your morning with the perfect mix of news, views, and moves. Dial us in or live stream at WRMN1410.com and make your mornings a whole lot brighter. WRMN 1410 AM. We're the voice of the Valley, and we're here to talk.
Welcome to WRMN 1410 AM. This is Out to Lunch with WRMN, the voice of the valley, the talk of the town, and of course the home of radio shopping. All of the deals for the radio shopping side of it can be found at WRMN1410.com. Already marked down stuff. Already having some deals and everything else out there. But on the air, we usually have some great deals just for the on-the-air people. I mean, I think we've already got a caller right off the bat. Hello, caller. Are you here for some deals? Hello, caller. Hello, wireless caller on line one. Hello. Oh, hello. How are you? I can hear you now.
Is this the radio shopping show?
It is the radio shopping show. This is WRMN. We can definitely take your radio shopping order. You're the first one right off the bat today. How are you, sir?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Give me one moment to pull up my my login here. Are you interested in the game day stuff? Do you listen to the game day with the bingo cards and everything else?
Not recently, no.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Friday is our game day, and we're going to have all kinds of great deals and bidding for bargains. We just got the Boomer stuff in. So give me one moment. I'll pull up my sale here. What's your key tag number, sir?
101484.
1484. And is this Ron?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful, Ron. What can I get for you? Let me give you the deals first, if I can. We've got some great mix and match going on today. You jumped right into the show at the beginning, so let me let you and the listeners know. This is a Try Something New Thursday. You can mix and match any three for $10. So I've got things like the Blue Box Cafe, Ray's Family Restaurant, IHOP and Elgin, the Sweet Basil Cafe. If you get three of these, you get them for $10.
Okay.
Yeah, what can I get for you today, sir?
I was looking on the website yesterday, and I'm interested in, from that 3 for $10, Culver's.
Culver's, let me see here. Yeah, I've got Culver's of Elgin. That is actually a $6 value. I'm sorry, it's a $10 value for $6.
Oh, that's not with the 3 for $3?
It's not part. Well, actually, no, it is for the 3 for $3. So I can do that for $3. Or I'm sorry, yeah. If you get two more, what I can do is I can get that to you. If you get two more, we can fill out the full $10.
Okay, could I have a Larsa?
Let's see here. We've got Larsa's. Let's see. Oh, Larsa's is also on there as well. Larsa's.
And could I have one of those Gilbert's fish fry?
And the Gilbert's Eagles Club on the fish fry. Yeah. Gilbert's. And let's see here. Gilbert's Eagles Club. Let's see here what I've got. Let me go ahead and add that to the sale as well. So there's your three, sir. Can I get you anything else today?
Just out of curiosity, do you have the Hilldale Golf Course yet?
Ooh, let me see. I'm not sure. I don't think we've got the golf out there yet. No, I do have the Prairie View Golf Club. That's a round of golf with a round of golf for two with a cart. Actually no, they just ran out of that. But I do have the Timber Falls Mini Golf. I don't think you want to take your drivers out there though.
Okay, that should be it for today, and I can come and pick up that next week then.
Wonderful. We'll have that sitting over here for you. You did make the very first mix and match any 3 for $10 today. Thank you very much, Ron.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Gotta love that.
All the great deals, Ben. All of them, man. Right off the bat for today.
There we go.
That's it. If anybody else wants to try the mix and match, so what Ron did is he got the Gilbert's Eagle Club for the fish fry.
Love it.
Then he also got Larsa's, which is a Mediterranean grill.
It's a great place. There's one in Evanston as well.
Wow,
Dempster.
Yeah, it's a really good place. It was one of the very first certificates I got here, and it helped me. So when you go and you get the combo platter and things like that. I got to get the extra stuff because it helped me out.
Kebab,
yeah, the certificate helped me out. And then, of course, he did the Culvers of Elgin. So right there, he got all 3 of those for $10. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job out there.
Great job.
Yeah. WRMN 1410 AM is the place for all of the radio shopping deals, but you can look at those deals, the already marked down things, without even calling us over the air. WRMN1410.com. Ben, I want to talk a little bit about today. I want to talk a little bit about conspiracy theories.
Ooh, hey, well, we're the right band here.
Conspiracy theories. Ever since what was it? Monday, early Monday morning, when the shipping container hit the Boston Bridge.
Yeah, was it Monday or Tuesday morning?
It was. I got it. They all blend together right now, Ben. I'll have to look that up. But ever since
when that happened,
it has been just constant, just speculation.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh, the cyber attack that we had a couple weeks ago, which wasn't a cyber attack. Right. Oh, that knocked it out. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, EMPs knocked out the power. Oh, it was what was one of them? One was diversity hires or what's
yeah. That's this of course thing. That's the first thing that people go off to.
It's I don't know. It happens. Sorry, I hate to burst your bubble.
All of a sudden, everyone's a boat doctor.
Exactly.
Come on.
A boat doctor with it. What's one of the craziest ones you've seen?
That Bodie McBoatface did it.
Okay.
No, I actually haven't seen that. But I went to factcheck.org, which is rated highly factual ad fontes. Thanks to looking at ground.news.
Yeah.
And they have an article, Baseless Conspiracy Theories Follow Key Bridge Collapse. So we all know the story of what happened. The cargo ship ran into the Francis Scott Key Bridge near Baltimore around 1:30 a.m. March 26, sending the center stretch of a 1.6-mile bridge into Patapsco River, leaving 6 road repair workers presumed dead. Later in the day, William Del Bagno, who leads the FBI's Baltimore field office, said this, quote, "There is no specific or credible information to suggest that there are ties to terrorism in this incident," which is something you hear pretty much after every accident.
Mm-hmm.
So you could see a lot of people are just distrusting of, for some reason, the FBI a lot. That's kind of a common theme on the right.
Well, I mean, when you have an entire media platform that continuously says, "Oh, you can't trust the government, can't trust the government. Look how terrible they are." I mean, what else are you going to believe?
Yeah, it's real interesting, the dichotomy between that and the support for local authorities and stuff. Like, why can't we at least have some common ground there? It's interesting. But digress. For example, Alex Jones, the conspiracy theorist behind InfoWars, who is perhaps best known for denying that the school shooting in Sandy Hook, Connecticut, actually happened, wrote on X, "Looks deliberate to me. A cyber attack is probable. WW3 already started." And I've heard him say that so many times about so many different things that it's too much at this point. Like, stop perpetuating that is what I would say to people who are in that mind frame. And yeah, like we were talking earlier, it's just one of those very coincidental things to happen with everything that's been happening supply chain wise, and obviously the situation in the Middle East with the blockade happening with aid there. It's easy for people to jump to conclusions and, you know, kind of fill in their own blanks and just, yeah, like I said, jump to conclusions. Another person that surprises no one that would have a conspiracy theory right off the bat from this, Andrew Tate. And again, I'm reading this article from factcheck.org. Andrew Tate, who also has a history of spreading misinformation, Tate had claimed that, quote, "the ship was cyber attacked, lights go off, and it deliberately steers towards the bridge supports. Foreign agents of the USA attack digital infrastructures. Nothing is safe. Black swan event imminent."
Yeah.
Again, catastrophizing what is already an accident and a catastrophe. So.
Yeah, and this is a older bridge, so it wasn't really built to the point of, so like right now when we build skyscrapers, we build them to maintain structure if they're hit by a plane. We build bridges that if they are hit by a boat will maintain the structure. So there's an engineer that talked with CBS News, Dr. Aaron Bell. And what Dr. Bell is doing is they are comparing the Key Bridge to the Tobin Bridge in Boston. And the Tobin Bridge in Boston was actually designed to lose a single pillar and not completely collapse the entire bridge, like how we saw with the Key Bridge. So, because here's what happens. When you are navigating in and out of a port, it is not the captain or the navigator that's even doing it. They bring somebody on who's called the pilot. And the pilot is the one who knows every inch of that river, every inch of that port to get you in and out safely. So when we pulled into port with the ship, with the Anzio, we would have a tow that would come over. They would drop off the pilot, and then these barge moving towboats would be able to kind of help us through. What I did not see in any of that were any towboats.
Did you hear the story, though?
No. So they lost power, right?
They lost power.
Yeah.
And in the audio recordings on the black box found in the ship, there were they called immediately for a tow service help.
Yeah.
At the first power loss. So.
Because, and a lot of people, what they were saying was, oh, well, after it lost power, it turned into the, it turned right into it. It's like, well, yes. It stuck. They were already turning, and then they lost power. It's not like your car where you lose power and, okay, I've got to pull because I don't have any power steering.
Yeah, that would be a lot of HPs on the boat.
Exactly. You think somebody could just pull a lever and go. And even then, if you have manual steering, it's usually in the aft portion of the ship, and that even has to take some time to even pull it to go. So what they were even going to, and the black box is neat because it records where their position is, it records their heading, their speed, and it also records what the engine is doing at the time, and it records, there's a microphone in the bridge. It's not just what they record when they call out over the radio. There's a literal microphone in the bridge. so they know everything that they said. So they haven't released the entire transcript or anything like that, but they called for a tow. As soon as it happened, they called out, said, "Hey, mayday, mayday, we just lost power." As soon as it happened, because they knew they were headed 8 knots into a pillar. So it's like, okay, well, I've got maybe 5 minutes at the most to figure this thing out. And so either somebody's got to push me out of the way, or we've got to get power up, or they even went to the point where they were throwing the anchor out. We've got some callers coming in right now. Let's go ahead and talk with line 1. I believe it's Ava. Hello, Ava. How are you today?
Fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Did you hear about the Boston boat?
Yes, I did. Wasn't that terrible?
It was terrible. We're talking a little bit about it today, but are you here to buy something for the radio shopping? I've got some mix and match deals for you.
Yeah, that's why I'm calling.
Oh, goody, goody. Mix and match. I got any 3 for $10 for you. What are you? What is your number?
102.
02.
181.
181. Will you do me a favor, Eva? Will you turn down your radio just a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What can I get for you, Miss Roberts?
Okay. Do you have pita pita?
Pita pita. Hey, that's part of our stuff today. So pita pita definitely in there. What else can I get for you?
Okay. How about Country Donuts?
Country Donuts. Oh, you're working on a hat trick. That's also in here.
Great.
Country Donuts. Let's see here. One in Elgin. Have you been over there? What's your favorite donut?
Double chocolate.
Oh, that sounds delightful. See, you're
really
getting me.
one.
It's past
toasted coconut for me.
It's past breakfast, and you're already getting me to it. What else can I get for you, Ava?
Okay. How about Garibaldi's?
Garibaldi's, let's see here. They are not part of our mix and match.
Okay.
Can I get you something in here? I got Tommy's Red Hots. I got Triple Berry Cafe.
Where's Tommy's Red Hot?
So Tommy's Red Hots has a lot of different locations. I think there's one here in Elgin. There are a few. I think there's one in St. Charles. Let me find that out
Do you have
for you real
anything
quick.
that's near Palatine, Rolling Meadows, Arlington Heights, Schaumburg?
Let's see here. I've got the. Do you have any kids in your life? Two Toots Train Whistle in Bartlett is part
is
of
that?
it. So it is a really fun experience where it is train themed. So all of your food actually comes out on a a train track. And
oh my God!
Yeah, it sounds delightful. I can't wait to bring the kids
Where is
over
that
there.
in Elgin?
So that's in Bartlett.
Oh, Bartlett.
Mm-hmm.
And how much was that? Oh, that's
part of the 3 or the 3 for $10. You're one away. We can throw that in there for you right now.
So how much is that one? What is it good for?
So that one I believe is also a $10 value. I'm just going to pull that up right now.
But what do you get?
Give me just a moment. I'll pull it up for you.
Okay.
So
great.
Two
Take your
Toots Train Whistle Grill in Bartlett. It is a $10 value. It's a dining certificate, good for anything on the menu. The only train restaurant with all seating on the tracks. A family-friendly spot to enjoy the best burgers, fries, and milkshakes around. Food is delivered on authentic Lionel electric toy trains.
So,
if not, I'll tell you my favorite place in Elgin is the Blue Box Cafe.
whereabouts is that one?
Oh my goodness! Right here by the radio station, we are on Douglas, and then it is literally a 2.5 minute walk from the station.
Oh, okay. Okay, and what's that good for? Anything?
So that one's good for anything over there. I think it is also a $10. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick. I believe it is still a $10. Yep, it's a $10 certificate, and it is valid for anything on the menu. You can create your own sandwich, or you know what I get? If you love roast beef, they make a master's wrap which is roast beef. I think there's provolone in it with a little bit of horseradish mayo. My goodness, it is the best.
How about La Flor?
La Flor, let's see here. I can add that to you, but it is not part of the mix and match.
Oh, it's not, so I can't get that one.
No, well, you could get it, but I just need one more to complete your turkey over here, and then that way we've got three.
So I thought maybe I could get the floor, but the floor is not in that.
Yeah, not part of the mix and match. Do you like churros and chocolate?
How about a taco place?
Yeah, so we've got El Diablo Cantina. That one's on there.
Yeah, but that's in Carpentersville, right?
Oh, it is, yeah. So let's see here. What else?
Something that's close to the radio station, because then when I go, I can just go there.
Well, I'll tell you what. I have a Culver's as well. I've got a Culver's in Elgin.
Where is Culver's?
It's right here in Elgin. I can give you that exact address.
I think it's on Randall, isn't it?
It is on McLean.
Oh, McLean. McLean in what?
Let's see here. It is McLean and get my Google Maps all put together over here. It is on McLean and Todd Farm. It's over by the where the Larsa's Kitchen used to be. Or no, actually, I think that is where they are now. Nope, that's where they used to be, over by the BP.
So if I take McLean, so it's what, about a mile?
Yeah, it's by Big Timber.
20. If I take 20.
It's right by Big Timber. So if you take Big Timber over to McLean, they're just maybe a half mile down from there.
Culver's.
Yep, I can give you the exact address if you want. That's 1175 North McLean.
You know what? Okay, if I get off on 20 to McLean, so it's I have to keep going, right?
Yes. So if you take 20, let me see here.
Route 20.
So there it is. Yep. So if you take McLean north towards Big Timber, right after you pass Big Timber, I think it is before the next light after Big Timber. If you're going,
and that's good for.
I think it's good for a while. Let me pull it up right now.
And that's a $10 certificate, you said?
I believe so.
I'll take that.
Okay, I've got you in. So that completes your whole mix and match. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
So that gets you.
I owe you $10. It's a pickup.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and leave it here. You'll go see Matt McNeil. He'll help you out with that. You got the Culver's in Elgin. You got the Country Donuts, and then you got the Pita Pita in Palatine.
Yeah, I got the Pita Pita, the Country Donuts, and the Culver's.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Great. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You
have
too.
A nice too. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
Awesome.
Let's see here. We've got Dennis again. Dennis is coming over.
Well, let me say bye.
Okay. Say bye. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you got to get moving. That's right.
I also wanted to kind of wrap up just a little bit.
Just wrap up a little bit, then we'll bring Dennis over.
One thing that's good about news coming out of this situation is that they're not projecting any loss or effect to the supply chain.
Yeah.
Because of this, because there's so many different ports and stuff.
Well, they're rerouting too. So the port's not open yet. Buttigieg came in and said he doesn't have a timeline of when it will be open, but they are rerouting everything through ground.
Yes.
And then eventually they'll get it, because even right now the bridge essentially blocks off the entire port.
And also the silverest of linings, that it happened in not traffic. Not rush hour type of situation.
Well, they called the Mayday away.
The Mayday was
and they were
good.
able to block off. The only people they weren't able to get to were the construction workers that were essentially the pothole fillers.
Which is what makes it a tragedy.
It is. It is. I mean, I wish them the best. I wish the families the best. When we come back, we're going to bring on Dennis. Dennis is starting to get a little bit into the politics side of the world. I welcome him in I love the fact that we can get a great conversation with multiple different voices. You're listening to Out to Lunch. Don't forget, you can always give the studio a call, 847-931-1410. We'll be right back, WRMN 1410.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, if you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime Prevention Council.
A dream that's been cooking for years, Maria's Little Italy in Sycamore is waiting for you to come and enjoy authentic recipes handed down for generations. Stop in and enjoy bruschetta, handmade focaccia bread, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more. Dine in, take out, delivery, or catering is all available. Go to mariaslittleitaly.com and see what you've been missing. From their family to yours, welcome to Maria's Little Italy, where food brings families together.
LaFleur Taco Grill at 910 Dundee Avenue at the corner of Slade has great fast casual Mexican food for the whole family. There's a huge selection of salads, quesadillas, a Taco Tuesday special, burritos, gorditas, and the Thursday Flautas dinner deal. LaFleur Taco Grill also has American favorites and breakfast. There's a kids menu too. Planning an event, LaFleur has catering with both Mexican and American foods. Call 847-214-1306 or LaFleur Taco Grill on Facebook.
Here at WRMN Radio, we try to connect with the community and discuss important issues, like our current mental health crisis. Here's Lori Baker, President and CEO of AID.
I think most people, when they see young children thinking about suicide at the ages of 5 and 6 and 7, I mean, that's shocking to me that children even know that they want to harm themselves somehow. I know it's difficult. I definitely feel the pinch. We all feel the pinch at the gas pump, at the grocery store, right, in our rents, but I think most people could handle 27 cents a day to help kids and seniors and people experiencing homelessness.
Discussions like this take place on the first shift, weekday mornings from 6 to 10, right here on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook.
Everything is fantastic at the China House Buffet on Sycamore Road in DeKalb. Scrumptious food combined with a wide variety of flavors, all served with love, await you. Choose from Chinese delicacies like Shanghai shrimp rolls, crab rangoon, and spare ribs. There's seafood, beef, as well as chicken wings and shrimp. The China House doesn't stop at Chinese food on the buffet. They also have Japanese favorites, including beef teriyaki, sushi, and hibachi, plus American food. Tempt your taste buds. Visit eatchinahouse.com today. As grocery prices rise, take your family out to any of the Tommy's Red Hots location for great food at unbelievably low prices. There's 6 locations to serve you for both dine-in or carry-out. Tommy's has a diverse, delicious menu for you and your family, with crispy pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and their famous hot dogs, plus so much more. Don't forget their scrumptious sides like mac and cheese bites. To see their menu and locations, visit Tommy'sRedHots.com today.
Out to lunch with WRMN 1410. That's what you're listening to right now. You're listening to WRMN. Are you listening on the dial? Are you listening on the web? Are you listening on the YouTube live stream? Oh, that's right, YouTube live stream. That's right. We've also got somebody listening on the phone. That's right, Cleveland Dennis joins us. He is an expert in international shipping. We appreciate your expertise, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Greetings to all first shifters and those near and far. Here's the thing. I'd like to know who the captain of that vessel was. Where was he from? I heard it was the Ukraine. You want to start a conspiracy theory?
Oh, goodness. You heard? Where did you hear he was from, the Ukraine?
Raleigh James show on WGN last night.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Spreading rumors, I'm just saying.
Is
Well,
that really
I mean,
what it is?
There's a lot of people with...
I don't know how accurate it is. I don't know how
You said-
accurate anything is I hear over the radio anymore.
Exactly. We can't believe everything that you say. That's why I try to give you the sources. That's why when I talk about something, Dennis, I want to give you those sources because that's right. Ben and I could sit here and say, you know what, it was three toddlers in a trench coat that were driving the thing.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I'm not a...
Could have been. And I liked the fact that about 30 seconds ago I gave you my source. You asked me where I heard it, I told you.
There it is.
Raleigh James. And if she's not credible, no one is.
Oh, well, okay.
Ever listen to Raleigh James?
I'll have to take a look at it.
10 p.m. most Monday through Thursday until 1 a.m. And her main thing is, like me, old rhythm and blues records.
That's awesome.
Bop and bop, bop, bop.
Well, do us a favor and call into her show and let her know to listen to us as well.
Mm-hmm.
She don't listen to me.
Oh, yeah.
You're listening, but no. She's a consummate professional, hidden in the mountains of southern Arizona with their own radio station. I don't know the call letters, KCII, blah, blah, blah. But anyhow, listen,
love it.
I love your show. That's why I'm calling in. And I don't know anything about this Boston boat crash. Will you guys call it a boat? I'm thinking, is it a boat or is it
No, it's a ship.
Baltimore.
It's
a ship.
Yeah, it's definitely a ship. You know us sailors, we call everything a boat. The other thing is I come from the submarine navy, and submarines are actually called boats.
Yeah, well.
So I'm sorry for my inaccurate parlance.
No, nothing's inaccurate if you can explain it out. But yeah, I get it, and I love the history so far. But with what's with the Boston boat? What was that? Is that recent?
Yeah, so there was a shipping container that ran into the Scott Key Bridge in Boston.
Well, I know that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Boston. No, you're talking about something happening at the Boston Harbor.
Yeah, well, it's not the actual harbor. So they use the bridge. They have to go under the bridge to get in and out of the port. So what happened was when the bridge collapsed, you can no longer get to the port because there's a collapsed bridge in the middle.
You're talking about Baltimore, right?
Yeah, the Baltimore Bridge. Sorry.
Yeah, but you guys keep on saying Boston. Don't forget. Don't
Sorry.
forget. Wait.
It starts with a B.
Wait.
I've been to both of them.
Well, so have I, but here's the thing. When you're talking about Boston, you start talking about Boston. It's all there. It's there on the YouTube. I'll be watching it tonight to tell my son, look at these guys. They don't know the difference between Boston and Baltimore. Don't forget. Here.
Don't forget.
Baltimore. Don't forget. Baltimore fought on the side of the Confederacy.
Oh, did they?
War. Yeah, that's history. Remember yesterday, history, HIS?
That's it.
His story. Yeah, anyhow.
That's there. You're right. I have been calling it the Boston crash. You're right.
Well, I know.
It's
I'm
Francis.
totally
Well, the thing
confused
for
here.
me
I'm here to
is the
straighten
Francis
out your
Scott Key
listeners.
side of it is I believe he was from Boston, and it just keeps throwing me off. So Baltimore Francis Scott Key Bridge. That was
Right.
Tuesday,
The name
as
change.
it happened for there. Also, yes, there it is false that there was a Ukrainian captain driving the side.
That's true?
It is false.
That's true.
It's false for it. Purported evidence that these and many other viral tweets came from the website BalticShipping.com. And it says the Dali container ship, ocean bulk marine time from Athens, Greece. The Marshall Islands is where the person is from. So it wasn't the Ukrainian side.
Wait a second. You're telling me what person is from the Marshall Islands?
So let's see here.
Ain't nobody from the Marshall Islands.
Ain't nobody from the Marshall Islands?
They're all indigenous people there.
Let's see here. The screenshot of the issue shows the two individuals who once listed the Dali as part of their employment history on the Baltic Shipping website. One of the two people whose profile on the Baltic Shipping is no longer visible was a Ukrainian man who had been the master or captain nearly a decade ago and stopped in 2016.
All right. Well, who is in control of the vessel when the vessel hit the bridge?
I am not entirely sure. The State Board of Pilots is who oversees the pilots in Maryland. So it was somebody from Maryland who was the pilot for it. And the pilot's the one who actually drives the ship through.
Right. I understood Ben when he said, I love that information, when he said, when the vessel gets into the harbor, then the local takes over piloting the vessel.
Yeah.
Because he knows the way around. Yeah.
Yeah, he
So
sure does. So it was somebody
that-
from Maryland that was,
Somebody,
there.
that's who was at the helm, right?
Yes, that's who was,
Okay.
let's see here, driving it at that point. As explained on the Maryland Pilots Association website, each ship engaged in foreign trade coming to Maryland ports is required to take on a local ship handling specialist. That's where the pilot comes in.
That's great stuff, man. That is great stuff. And I heard it first on WRMN.
That's it. So glad we can help, and thank you for the correction. I have been calling it Boston this entire time, but you're right. It is Baltimore. So you see how much how well I am with geography.
Well, yeah, you got a phone, you could look it up, but Brawley James calls it Baltimore.
Baltimore? Why is that?
Yeah, I don't know, because she worked everywhere across the U.S. in all different localities as a disc jockey for the last 40 years, and you know, she's like that Johnny Cash song. He's been everywhere, man. And she brings all this up. She's one of the people that has a photographic memory. And guess what? I found out it's contagious, because the more I talked to her, the more I could remember.
Hey, we like having smarts being contagious. It's better than some of the other things that people cough on me about.
Yeah, it becomes stimulating when you start hearing some of the old records when she plays it. And I remember I was with my girlfriend, but that's for another story.
So on the YouTube side, Cleveland Dennis, we've got CNBC mentioned that the cargo had some hazardous materials, including lithium.
All those vessels, I'll interrupt you, all those vessels carry hazardous.
Yeah.
Lithium batteries, because I'm bringing some in air freight now, and they're very difficult because they have to be packaged just right to get inspected. All that stuff is on that vessel, but they put all the hazardous separate. All right?
I got it.
They intersperse it because if anything goes funny with it, they're prepared and they know where everything is. And what's next to the container that might be full of fire, they know that the next one over is just going to burn up and not explode. Anyhow, yeah, the vessel, they were asking that yesterday, like, what's on that vessel? I'll tell you what's on that vessel. Whatever they pick up at all the ports that they were at in the Far East, from Sri Lanka to Singapore, to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, to even Australia and China, certainly. Who knows where the ports of call were for that vessel before it came around, and I'm assuming it came around from the Far East via the Panama Canal and then up to the East Coast of the USA. Probably called probably called New York first, and then went down to Baltimore, and then would head south from there. But who knows the routing?
Well, so this is why I was calling it Boston, because I pulled up an article from Boston News 25, and they've got a bunch of different stats on the bridge and also the dolly itself. They say if stood upright, the dolly would reach almost to the top of the Eiffel Tower. Because you said these things are huge. I've only seen them out to sea. I've never really seen them in person. So they say the ship shares the name with Salvador Dali's side of it. Built by South Korean Hyundai Heavy Industries, one of the world's largest shipbuilders. Dali was launched in late 2014. The Dolly passed in June of 2023 an inspection in Chile. A faulty pressure gauge for the fuel heaters was identified, but fixed before the vessel left port. Dolly was then inspected in September by the U.S. Coast Guard in New York, and no problems were found. Before it left Baltimore, the ship underwent routine engine maintenance, according to the Coast Guard. So they were looking at it. They were making sure those inspections were done. And it seems like it was just an accident. Accidents do happen.
Right.
And
that's why they call them accidents.
Exactly.
But where's that vessel now, if I could interject?
I think it's still sitting with a bridge on top of it. I don't think they've moved it yet. I think they have removed the containers that are on there, at least as many as they could, but they've got a bridge sitting on top of it.
No, wait, is that true?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me look it up.
That vessel's not going to stop at that bridge built in 1967 or 78 or whenever. It's going to go right through it.
Yeah, well, it did, and then the bridge collapsed on top of it.
Well, no, I want to know where that vessel's at now, and I don't see how they took all those containers off yet. It takes a couple days. It's just happened.
Yeah,
a couple days ago.
It happened a couple days ago.
Yeah, well,
it happened
I think
Tuesday.
the main focus was getting that debris cleared out of there and getting everything fixed as far as clearing the way. And obviously the first thing was recovery and the people who fell into the water there. I heard they recovered 2 people right away that were rescued. And they 2 bodies as well.
Yeah, they're still trying to look for not survivors. They are still trying to recover remains at this point.
Right.
So I don't think they've moved the ship just because they've still got twisted metal and everything else over there.
Wait a second. If they haven't moved the ship, how'd they get the containers off? They did.
I'm not entirely. That's what I mean. That's why I have to verify if they've got it on.
Right.
Last thing I heard is that was the next step, is to get the containers off of there. I don't know if they've started it or whatnot.
I think more so the focus with that angle is that people are concerned about the business of the Baltimore port happening and what's going to be what's to come of all the people, the shippers and everybody whose job depends on those goods being shipped, and they're finding workarounds and other ways to reroute this stuff. So I saw an article with, don't quote me on this, around 8,000 people's jobs are linked to this very incident. So there's a lot of people who are scrambling right now to make sure that they can do their job and keep that going. So I think that's the focus.
That's all speculation. Let me tell you, that vessel has to be moved to the location where it can be unloaded. The unloading could take a day, maybe 2. Who knows more? And then whatever the officials want to do with it, okay, while it's still there in the Baltimore harbor. But they'll get the containers off, and then they'll go on their merry way, if that's going to work like that. And
Yeah, so it's still sitting. It's still sitting under the bridge right now, with all the containers still on it. It's still sitting exactly where
they
it crashed.
haven't unloaded them containers, and those containers will be delayed. And everybody that's got cargo on that, they'll do the best they can. But I haven't read anything. I get blurbs on my email that I'm looking at now.
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, you could look it up on the internet, I guess.
That's what I've done. So that's where I got that information. ABC News has said that it's still sitting where it is and put it together an entire timeline of how it happened. If you want to check that out, abcnews.go.com.
That's the problem. ABC News, NBC, CBS, I don't care. But I get blurbs from the steamship lines directly, and I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything for 2 or 3 days. And
2 or 3 days about what? About them moving the containers or about this crash?
About anything from the steamship lines directly, because they usually update in different news sources that come to me, which normally I just delete and whatever. But there's nothing. Nothing's been said.
Okay, well, they better get on it. They better get on it because the rest of the news is reporting things.
Put that in their pipe and smoke it. Why? Why is there no info?
I don't know. I don't know why there's no info on that side.
That's what I'm asking.
I've got info from first eyewitnesses where people are taking pictures and stuff.
Right, yeah. And then the story will be accommodated as we move forward. But okay.
Okay, well, thanks, Dennis. Thanks, Cleveland Dennis. Appreciate it.
It's a good talk, but I'm just giving you my 2 cents for what it's worth. But
well, it's worth more than the 2 cents, sir.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye now.
Bye. Okay, I've got time to have one more caller here. I've got Sharon, it looks like. Hello, Sharon. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in work today.
Yeah.
My understanding is that there's vessels or barges that are coming with unloading apparatuses to take the containers off and put them onto another.
Yeah, they're hoping to do that. That is what I heard, especially from the transportation secretary. That's what they're putting together. The biggest thing is I don't think they've got a full timeline put together. Well, I mean, they talked about how the Scott Key Bridge took 5 years to build, and they're like, well, it'll probably take longer than that because we've got to clean up the first bridge before we can rebuild it. So I appreciate your sentiment on that, Sharon. Have you heard anything else about it? It seems like the Dutchman said that Ben is right. 6 dead and about 8,000 jobs affected.
Yeah, that's what I heard today on the director of transportation or where that guy is, and then there's supposedly one survivor that was able to walk off the bridge or get off the bridge before it went. But I don't know. I didn't see them speak to him directly. He was just standing there with the news team as they were doing the announcement or the morning briefing. Yeah, but that's all I know, and I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. Is that my understanding is that they've got to wait until these barges come to get the containers offloaded.
Yeah, I think it's going to be easier to take the containers off before they move it out, because if you look at some of the pictures, the bridge is still sitting on top of the bow, so it's still sitting on top. Yeah. So they said they would move towards ground transportation as it goes right there. So the Dutchman said the same thing. It'll take weeks before they move the shop. So we'll move the ship.
Yeah,
he said
a lot
shop.
of material over there.
No, well, thank you, Sharon. Thanks for listening. Hey, how are you listening? Are you listening on the dial or are you listening on the apps?
I'm actually right now. I'm through Alexa.
Hey, even better. You got smart speaker,
Yeah.
right? You just tell your smart speaker to listen to WRMN.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you, Sharon.
Rogers Odyssey app or something like that.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
It's through an Odyssey app, but it's through Alexa.
Yeah, Odyssey app, and then also the TuneIn as well. Thank you, Sharon. I really appreciate you being on.
Have a good day.
You too. We're going to go back to the phones. We've got Ava again. Hello, Ava. How are you?
Fine, how are you? I forgot to ask you
Yeah.
before when I called. Are you open Friday and Saturday this week?
We are open Friday. I'm not open on Saturday, however.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Friday is from 10?
Friday will be 12 to 3.
Oh, 12 to 3. Oh, good.
Yep.
That sounds really good.
We should
All
have
right,
that
that's-
ready for you.
That's just what I wanted. What if I come tomorrow, and if I want to order more stuff when I'm there, I can do it?
Well, you absolutely can.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, we can absolutely add some more things to your account for that, and more than likely print them out right there.
Great. That sounds really good.
Is there anything else I can get for you?
How much was the McDonald's?
The McDonald's, that is a $4 value for 2.
Oh. So each one is $2, right?
Each one's $2, but it's worth 4.
Right. Is that on the $10 thing too?
It is not. It's just the $2 as it goes.
Yeah. I'll save it for tomorrow. When I get
Perfect.
there, I'll get some other stuff that I got on the list. All right?
We're happy to see you.
All right. Thank you so much, and you have a great afternoon.
You absolutely too. We've got
Bye-bye.
Ben right here. He is going to finish the rest of the hour. Carolyn, I do see you on the phone. Just hang out for a second. We are coming to the end of the show. I just want to make sure that that Ben has enough time to throw his final thoughts in it as we've got this last minute for the hour.
Okay, guys. Yeah, there's a lot to be thought of the first hour, what we've been talking about with this the boat situation and everything.
It's a ship.
The ship.
Sorry, Dennis keeps correcting us, and we should be more accurate.
Yeah.
I keep calling it Boston, but it's Baltimore.
Shippy McShip
and
face.
it's ship. Yeah, exactly. So, are you going to stick with me for the next hour, man?
Yes.
You got more stuff to do?
Yes, we're talking onions, onion news, not the onion.
Not the onion from the onion
From
news,
the onion news.
but onion news.
Yes. Onion, yeah, just all onion stuff.
There it is. Lots of
Feeling 'em.
food stuff, lots of shipping things. Stick around. More Out to Lunch happening in the next hour. You're listening to WRMN 1410. Don't forget, it's Thursday. Try something new Thursday. Mix and match a few of these different restaurants. Any 3 for $10. We'll be right back right after the news. Stay tuned.
Be sure to catch the first shift weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. for important information like fire tips from Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan.
The thing in the winter that we're more concerned with is carbon monoxide, because that we don't get in the summer. That carbon monoxide issues occur because of heating equipment. Anything that burns natural gas, if it is faulty, can generate high levels of carbon monoxide, which in time can be fatal. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of having carbon monoxide detectors in your home. Every single year you will see somewhere in the country, and usually we'll get 1 or 2 in the Chicagoland area, where you'll see multiple fatalities in one home. You can't smell carbon monoxide, you can't taste carbon monoxide, you have no idea it's happening. And so it's critically important that you have the right detectors in your home.
It's the first shift weekday mornings at 6 a.m. with me, Marky B, right here on WRMN.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 1 o'clock.
With your AM 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Sky Rizzy. Explore proven results with Sky Rizzy. A child missing from South Elgin has been found safe after 6 years. Kayla Unbahan has been located alive in Asheville, North Carolina. Her mother, Heather Unbahan, standing accused of child abduction following a custody loss. The pair were identified by an employee of a secondhand clothing store who remembered them from a feature on Unsolved Mysteries. Kane County State's Attorney Jamie L. Mosser has reported that the election complaint hotline received 5 calls during the general primary election day voting. 3 were related to electioneering, 1 was about privacy during a voter registration, and the last one dealt with a missing race due to a boundary error. In a newly announced commercial property deal, a 53,000 square foot warehouse lease has been negotiated by Lee & Associates on behalf of Bullfrog International. A luxury hot tub designer and manufacturer now expands its presence in Elgin at 1320 Gateway Drive. With your AM 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Get the one and done you want for your dog's monthly protection. NexGard Plus, a Foxalon or Moxidectin and Pyrantel chewable tablets. Protects against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms. All in one delicious, beef-flavored soft chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection prior to starting a preventive. Ask your vet about NexGard Plus chews.
Progressive asks, what do a late-night pizza craving,
Pizza place. Can I get 1 large pepperoni pizza?
a newly licensed teen delivery driver, a guaranteed delivery time or its free offer, and your front fence have in common?
Uh-oh.
That's my fence! They can turn your stomach upside down in under 30 minutes.
I'm still getting a tip, right?
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Looking for a place to try for breakfast or lunch? You'll find a gem of a restaurant with amazing food and great prices at the Tripleberry Cafe, 435 Angela Lane in Crystal Lake. For breakfast, try Tripleberry's strawberry cheesecake French toast, ribeye steak and eggs, or carnitas skillets. At lunch, there's the AM burger or Chipotle chicken BLT. There's delicious homemade cream of mushroom soup. For tasty home cooking, Tripleberry Cafe is the place to be. Visit tripleberrycafe.com. In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast to Coast right here on WRMN 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Newry with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Whether you're working third shift or you're just a night owl, catch the most listened to overnight talk radio program in North America, Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
The NFL draft is on the horizon. The Bears have the top overall pick. GM Ryan Poles said that USC's Caleb Williams will be the selection. To make room, they traded Justin Fields to the Steelers, where he'll reportedly have a chance to compete for the number 1 spot. Poles said on Monday,
probably one of the harder things I had to do. I was kind of touching on the empathy part. You know, like having that conversation with my own son was hard. His jersey's up in his room. You know, puts that into perspective of how difficult those moves are. He was positive. His tone was good. You know, I think what was important for Flus and I is to really express to him, although this is a really tough decision, like how much he means to the city of Chicago, our fan base.
NBA last night, the Wizards beat the Bulls 107-105. DeMar DeRozan led Chicago with 27 points. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Taco Bell just dropped the new Cravings Value Menu. Now you can get 10 items for $3 or less, which means you can get the food you want for the price you want. It's almost like you can have your cake and eat it too. But in this case, it's a double-stacked taco from the new Cravings Value Menu. So basically, you can have your double-stacked taco and eat it too, which is a lot crunchier than cake. The new Cravings Value Menu is here. Get it at Taco Bell today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Tax extra.
And now Martha Stewart for Skechers. When I make a dish or embark on a craft project, I always use the finest, most fabulous ingredients and materials. Which is why, when it comes to footwear, I love Skechers. Because Skechers is the comfort technology company and uses the most luxurious, innovative materials and designs to make wondrously comfortable footwear with all the fits and features like Arch Fit and Skechers' world-famous air-cooled memory foam.
Celebrating 70 years of serving the Fox River Valley, WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM is proud to inform and entertain you every day with great local shows that keep you connected with the people in your community, like the Radio Shopping Show, where listeners are encouraged to let us know about their experiences with our business partners.
I usually go to Tripleberry during the week. It's not so busy. I had my normal lumberjack omelet. It's like a meat lover's omelet, and their fries are awesome. Just the texture of it, they're a little crisp, soft on the inside. I mean, really good.
The voice of the Valley and the home of the Radio Shopping Show. You are listening to WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Welcome to Out to Lunch, WRMN1410.com. Thank you for following along with us. Thank you for listening to our inaccurate facts. But to give us more of that factuality, we'll make sure that we correct anything that is inaccurate. And the biggest one is I keep calling it Boston, Ben.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep calling it Boston. It is Baltimore. I just get confused with the bees, with the East Coast bees.
It's a slip of Freudian consciousness. I don't know. You got to redact the inact facts, though, and that's what we do.
It's true. You gotta correct, right?
Yeah.
If new information comes in, you gotta correct.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta correct as it comes in. That's the scientific method, right?
One must. And I think you're being a little hard on yourself. There wasn't too much.
No, I kept saying it though.
Too much inaccuracies. It was just what's the name of it?
It's a ship. It's not a boat. It's a ship.
Ship that ships.
And I keep saying Boston boat, and it's just like, well, what is that? And I appreciate you, Cleveland Dennis, for keeping us on the accuracy as it goes. But I will fight you a little bit on the Ukrainian pilot.
Right. Yeah. I was wondering what the relevance of the boat pilot profiling was.
Well, you know how it is. Everybody's trying to connect the dots, and it's a scary world out there, Ben.
I'm Russian. Does that mean that I had something to do with something Russian?
Well, you gotta connect the dots. Otherwise, it's just a bombastic, just waiting for entropy to take over our entire lives and fade into the non-existence of the universe, man. Somebody's got to be in control, right? Somebody. So I've got to make up a conspiracy. I've got to say something to make it all make sense, because God forbid an accident actually happens. And it actually is an accident, not anything nefarious. If you want to talk about nefarious things, or maybe you believe that this is a conspiracy of some sort, I don't know how it could be intentional, but then again, I believe that the chemtrails are actually just water vapor, but that's just me in science. So if you want to call into the studio, 847-931-1410. We got lots and lots of chatter on the old YouTube over here, Ben, but we had such a great conversation with Dennis. I wanted to make sure we got through everything. Dutchman obviously says, howdy. He says it's a big mess. Dazzy V says 6 dead, 8,000 jobs. Only on WRMN will be talking about this after a few days. Well, you know what? People are still trying to figure out what's going on. I would much rather have the accurate facts days after something happened than to spend 5 minutes speculating on what could have happened.
Right. Yeah. And I would like to just say that I think a lot of people are still talking about this. And
well, they're still trying to come back with some more stuff. We're trying to get the facts and the plan. I mean, otherwise, what are we all doing here? Like, if we don't have facts and we don't have a plan to clean up things, then what are we doing? We just you know what? It was a Ukrainian diversity hire, and it is going to just start World War III. Like,
right? Yeah.
Where do you have that information from?
I mean, it was already a catastrophe. No reason to catastrophize on top of that.
That's true. That's very true. Check out the Dutchman's Wood Shack on YouTube. He's got some great videos over there all about teaching you how to work with wood.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Carpentry.
Carpentry
Two
as you need. Maybe some whittlings as it goes. Sure, test for drugs on the crew, sleeping or partying too. Absolutely. No, I'll bring it up. Dazzy V, how do you, if you could in the chat, go ahead and put your phonetic preferences. Don't want to necessarily say pronouns, but go ahead and put in your phonetic preference of what you want me to call you. But Dazzy 5, Dazzy V, whatever it is, sure, test for drugs on the crew. Absolutely. No, workers' comp would also do such things. If I get hurt and accidentally blow up a building, yeah, they're going to drug test me.
Yeah.
They're going to make me do all of these things. That's part of the investigation. Now, by all means, you want to think that a bunch of people from Sri Lanka that drove this thing for a Dutch company that had a American pilot, yeah, we can figure something out from there. We can investigate this thing. And that's how it works, is you have the investigation. When I was in the Navy, we had a ship that pulled into Bahrain with us, and they had actually run aground and were in dock getting repaired as it goes there. Like Dutchman's. I can call you like Dutchman's, sure. But that's it. Is the Flying Dutchman, I guess, is what you need to stay away from. They're Dazzy. But the pilot was always the one that we brought on when we pulled in, and the one that we dropped off when we drove out. It's not until you're out in the deeper water, not necessarily blue water yet, but in that deeper water where it could take you 30 minutes to drive to the other direction to not hit somebody. And you're not worried about running aground or anything like that. And it takes a little bit depending on where you are. In Scotland, I think it was like an hour and a half that the pilot was with us just to get through the canals. So like the military, if sleeping on guard duty, you're absolutely right, Daz.
What did she say about sleeping?
So Daz, I'm sorry to assume your gender there, Daz.
They say.
They say, like the military, if sleeping on duty. Yeah. If you are on watch, that's what the pilot was supposed to be. He was on watch. He was in charge of these things. They even sign pieces of paper that say that they are in charge of said things. I have taken command of the ship. I have taken control of the ship.
Yeah.
They have a turnover for that. But at the same time, no matter of how many preparedness or how many Chuck Norrises you have maintaining the ship and how awesome that guy is, nobody can stop power going away, being dead in the water. You can't do anything.
That's my question to you. What is a potential emergency backup system that could have steered the boat, or a manual type of steering?
For us on our ship, so we have a couple different generators. So in case one of them goes down, we've got a few others that can do it. The other thing that we've got is when we are driving through it, we have somebody in the aft steering. We have somebody posted. We have somebody there to where if all of a sudden everything goes bad, this person can actually turn some physical wheels to turn our rudder and things. Now, obviously, it's hydraulics and teleflex or whatever else. Somebody's not just yanking on a chain to get this thing turning, but that's what they use. Daz with a soft A. So, Daz, I'll take you, Daz.
Daz.
Daz? Oh, Daz with a soft A. Daz.
Dazing.
Dazzy V. Okay, awesome. We appreciate it. We appreciate you listening on the old YouTubes, too. We want to make sure that we get as many different places and avenues for everybody to jump into the conversation. One of such ways is Studio 14. You can give us a call, 847-931-1410, 847-931-1410. That's 1410 for those of you. Engines reverse, absolutely. But if I have no engines, I cannot reverse said engines. The other thing that they tried to do, Daz, is they actually tried to throw anchor as well. They said, let's just throw out the anchor. Let's get at least some sort of change in it. The other thing that, like I said, with the Navy ship side of it, is we always had tugs on either side. That way, if we did lose anything, if we did have to dead stick our way over, the tugs would actually move us over. That's how we park. I mean, that's how you get into your berth. We don't just parallel park into the thing. It is accurate. It is pretty easy to navigate it. But to get those extra couple feet to make sure that we're right up against the pier, we've got tugs that push us up against the pier. We moor off, and then once the mooring lines are all secure, the tugs back away. I can't tell you how many times tugs just slammed into the side of the ship, and then they would rip off any of our scuppers, or they would bend our railings, or any of that stuff, and just damage the weather deck as it's going. But they're powerful. They are able to move things. Now, maybe not as fast as what they needed to do, because if you look at the timeline for it, at 12:39, the 984 long-foot Singapore-flagged cargo ship pulled out of its berth. So that's at 12:39 a.m. I think that's local Eastern right there. That's where they put it for there. And you could go to ABC News, abcnews.go.com. They've got the entire timeline of the Baltimore Key Bridge collapse. I'm not going to live that up today, man. That's my biggest mistake of the day. Is calling it the boat from Boston.
I thought you knew something that I didn't.
I feel like a big dummy.
The boat maybe came from Boston.
I feel like a big dummy. At 1 a.m., live stream cameras capture light traffic, including a tractor trailer rig moving across the 1.6 mile Key Bridge. 107 cargo ship enters the Fort McHenry Channel and begins to head down the Patapsco River, Patpsco. No, I didn't see any tugs in the video. I think they used it for there. Along A, you were saying it right the first time. It is Dazzy.
Well, it's on a soft
Daz is where it is. Live stream camera at 12:24 shows the cargo ship's lights suddenly going off and then coming back on.
And that's the video that really freaked people out for some reason. I shared the same one, not thinking that it was space lasers, but that's what MTG exactly went like. This proves it. This proves that this was not foul. It was foul play and blah blah blah.
That it was off and then kicked back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have something like that, your emergency lights come on as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the emergency lights do not drive the engine.
Yeah.
The emergency lights are run on battery so that me as a sailor, I don't get lost in the middle of the windowless steel contraption I'm driving.
And a little aside, some stuff that I read just on the internet, so don't quote me on it, on Reddit and stuff. There's it's been kind of an industrial known thing that the Francis Scott Key Bridge was a little prone to this kind of a thing, and even to the point where people would have like inside bets about, which catastrophe is going to happen first, this bridge collapse or this one over here. And that was like one of the ideas, like that the bridge was not structurally unsound, but
so is there another bridge in the Fort McHenry channel that that we should be watching out for?
No, it's more like you just see any type of structural or architectural engineering that you go, well, that's kind of messed up.
That's what I look at when I'm on the tolls too. I'm like, it's just only a matter of time before somebody's changing lanes, looking behind them.
Right, and if you want to bring that up, there's so much infrastructure that needs to be taken care of. Speaking of WGN earlier, they do a great segment where they go around and look at all the undersides of
bridges,
embankments, and bridges that need to be done and redone. So, and in talking about that, if you look up, I'm sure there's a lot of information out there about the building of the bridge. It was kind of a rushed process, and there were other ideas that would have been more safe, structurally sound, and it comes down to S happens.
Yes, it's true.
And it S's.
And it S's hard. And what the thing is there's nothing that they could have done structurally. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to build some sandbanks that the ship would have run into before it hit the bridge,
right?
You know what I mean? You can't do it. So Daz is asking about the tugs. Yes, if there are no tugs being used, you are under ship's power at that point, and it is the ship that's steering it. So what happens with this? To continue on the timeline, the Dali appears to lose its lights again as it drifts slightly to the right in the direction of one of the bridge's main center columns. And this is because once you tell the rudder to move to one side, so we're so used to our cars where if I let go of the wheel, it kind of resets itself straight. Now, I'm not going to say it resets itself back on the road, but eventually it will continue to move straight because the steering mechanism is at the front and you're kind of pushing it. So it wants to go there. With a ship, the steering mechanism is in the back, and a lot of times it steers either with the screws themselves and the rudder, or it's just a rudder or a few rudders that once you put them in that position, if you do not change them, you will essentially cut circles with just the direction that it's going. So that's what ended up happening is they were turning to correct course, and as they were turning to correct course, that's when they lost the power, and that's when their rudder and their direction was stuck on a heading towards that pillar. This is still 126. At the time, vehicles can still be seen crossing the bridge. Maryland Governor Moore said that about this time, a mayday call was made from the vessel, giving transportation officials just enough time to order a halt to traffic approaching both ends of the bridge, likely saving lives. They say thousands, tens of thousands are actually driving on this bridge. So we're all the way up to 127 just before the hit. I'm going to do a little cinematic tease and leave you hanging over the commercial break. We'll continue on with the timeline of the Baltimore Key Bridge collapse from the Dolly. If you're listening to WRMN 1410 on the AM dial, go ahead and give us a call, 847-931-1410. What have you heard about it? There's lots and lots of things floating around. We want to make sure that we're all accurate as best we can. Thank you, Dazzy, for being on the YouTube side of it and feeding us those facts as well. We'll be right back. Out to lunch. WRMN, the voice of the valley, the talk of the town, and the home of radio shopping. See you on the other side.
Rooted in their family Mexican history, churros are made daily with love. Churros and Chocolate at 2533 West Algonquin Road has churros made from family recipes with care and fresh each day with delicious fillings. There's also the Frida Cafe where you can relax and catch up with a friend while having a warm drink. Try Churros and Chocolate specialty churros, the churro sundae, or take home a churro cake. Visit churros, the letter Y, chocolateinc.com.
The word is out. Nissans cost less on Route 19, but that's not all. Parts, service, and body shop, they all cost less at McGrath Nissan. Used cars too. The reason why is how hard we try. Right now, get 0% APR financing on select new Nissan models at McGrath Nissan because
Nissans cost less on Route 19.
Come to Elgin.
See what we mean.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
Garibaldi's Italian Eatery offers Italian dishes, subs, kids menus, and their delicious pizza. The foundation of a great pizza starts with the crust. Garibaldi's crust is crunchy at the bottom, airy in the middle, and perfect every time. The finest ingredients are used to give their pizza this exquisite crust and wonderful taste. Dine at either of the Garibaldi's 2 locations in Hoffman Estates and Arlington Heights. Free party rooms are available too. Visit Garibaldis.com today. For a little lighthearted lawlessness on Sunday afternoons, listen to Handle on the Law from 4 to 7 p.m. Handle on the Law is a unique combination of useful legal advice and outrageous handle remarks. Whether you're talking about Big Brother, big business, big legal problems, or Big Macs, you'll rarely find Bill without an opinion. His rapid-fire commentary gives listeners the information they crave in the way they crave it. It's Handle on the Law, Sunday afternoons from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Hide out with friends at Galati's Hideaway in Cary. It's the perfect place for lunch, dinner, and specialty drinks. Check out their sports bar for the best spot to watch games. Try Galati's Dining Room for a relaxing night of dining on their signature Italian dishes. Try their great pizza or the Build Your Own Burger. Galati's Hideaway also has a large variety of entree favorites like prime fillets, steak kebabs, salmon, and ribs. Book your party in their banquet room. Visit GalatisHideaway.com.
Batteries Plus Bulbs is more than batteries and bulbs. It's your repair shop for Apple devices, Samsung Galaxy devices, and more. Located on Randall Road, just south of 20 in Elgin, Batteries Plus Bulbs fills all your battery and light bulb needs in one stop. They have the largest selection of batteries for ATVs, cameras, phones, laptops, scooters, cars and homes, and everything else. Looking to save money with energy-efficient LED or holiday lighting? Stop in at Batteries Plus Bulbs in Elgin. Go to batteriesplus.com for special offers.
Welcome back to WRMN 1410 AM. I was just talking to Ben about how on the YouTube side I keep leaving his mic open. That's okay. That's okay.
I've got stuff to say.
You do have stuff to say. We haven't hit your onion story yet, which we will. I just want to get to the end of this timeline that we've got here. Dazzy comes in and says, reminds me of the Ohio River Bridge on Route 24 east of Paducah, Kentucky, leaving Illinois long and narrow with bridge traffic and auto traffic over there. It's crazy. Or barge traffic under and auto traffic above. It only takes a time, one time to knock down a bridge, right? It's just 5-6 years to build a bridge, 5-6 seconds to tear it down. Just the way that it works.
Yeah, that was a real impressive looking bridge too.
Mm-hmm. So let's see here. Just to continue going at 1:27 and 25 seconds, the pilot aboard the cargo ship issues a VHF radio call reporting the Dolly has lost all power and was approaching the bridge. Around the same time, a Maryland Transportation Authority duty officer radios the agency units, informing them to hold traffic at the south and north ends of the bridge, saying there's a ship approaching. It just lost their steering, according to a recording of the dispatch from Broadcastify.com. The live stream cameras show the cargo ship's lights suddenly going off as the vessel appears to drift to the right. Let's see here. At literally 30 seconds later, dark smoke appears to be coming from the cargo ship, which is moving at 7 knots or 8 miles per hour. The VDR on the cargo ship at 1:29 and 33 seconds a.m. The cargo ship records sounds consistent with vessel hitting the bridge. Officials said at the time of the collision, no traffic was crossing the bridge, but parked vehicles apparently belonging to maintenance crew filling potholes were still on the span. So 2 maintenance workers survived, one by running from the bridge and the other by going into the water and swimming to shore. 6 other maintenance workers remain unaccounted for. Law enforcement officer makes a desperate radio transmission to dispatch saying the whole bridge just fell down. Start whoever, everybody, the whole bridge just collapsed. It's just tough. It's just just a bad situation, a bad accident as it happens, and it just is the way that these accidents go. So I don't think there was anything nefarious with it. I don't think it was anything to the point where anybody was like, okay, well, let's crash this single particular bridge on this one particular night at this one thing. Like, it's just so coincidental. It is accidental. There's no real, because here's the thing: when you need for a conspiracy, you need somebody to benefit. What benefit does anybody have for doing this? Why would you do it? The only benefit I see is that the people that spread the conspiracy side can continue to spread the conspiracy side. That's just the way it is. If you have one conspiracy, you want to be able to link all the other conspiracies to it as you go. One conspiracy that you can mix and match is the Try Something New Thursday on the radio shopping show. Mix and match any 3 for $10. We've got Blue Box Cafe, Ray's Family Restaurant, Viator Coffee, IHOP, Sweet Basil Cafe, Triple Berry Cafe. I got donuts. I got churros. I've got a fish fry. Go ahead and give the station a call, or give the studio a call, 847-931-1410, or the Redemption Center, where Matt McNeil is at, 847-741-7700. He will also be on the air on the drive time deal with Matt McNeil from 3 to 6 most days. Today, Leah will be driving it because we've got a special mixologist coming in to talk about that. Awesome. I believe they are from the social, the distance social.
Best day of the week. That's what you want. You won't let me do that show yet. Why not?
No, not yet. Not yet. She wants to make sure that that it's consistent. she's got it as it goes. I use
I'm kidding.
Broadcastify app too. It's in the police and fire calls, but delayed. So exact same time, may not agree. Anyone can get the free app, FYI. Oh, okay. Broadcastify. Daz comes in and helps us with that. But let me tell you a story, Ben. The time where are you going? Oh, where are you going, man? Oh, you got stuff all going on. So let me tell you about the time I caught the ferry to Shelbyville. I needed a new heel for my shoe, so I decided to go to Morganville, which is what they called Shelbyville in those days. So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time. Now to take the ferry costs a nickel. In those days, nickels had pictures of bumblebees on them. Give me 5 bees for a quarter, you'd say. Now, where was I? Oh yeah. The important thing was that I had an onion tied to my belt at the time. You couldn't get the white onions because of the war. The only thing you could get was those big yellow ones. Wait, that's not the onion story that you're talking about, Ben. I don't think you are. I think you are talking about the shortage that is happening right now in Gaza. You can look at The Guardian. Onions sell for 50 times the usual price in Gaza as Palestinians scramble for food. Reports of exorbitant costs of basic vegetables as well as oil and flour come amid warnings that Gaza is on the verge of famine. People living in Gaza are facing exorbitant food prices as more than 1 million residents of the Palestinian territory face famine. Since Israel's invasion in October, it has become common for Gaza-displaced population to share pictures of their shopping baskets and document how high prices have risen amid the food shortages. But in the southern city of Rafah, where most of the Gaza population live right now, they were, if you remember, they were forced south. They went from the very top down to Rafah. Most of the population now has been moved to Rafah. I think there is, 2.8 million people that live in Gaza?
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
In comparison to around 300,000 normally in the city, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 300,000 that live in Rafah. Now there's over 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Such as spinach, jute leaves, and chard, which are common, sell for 25 times their former price, according to new analysts by the humanitarian organization Christian Aid. This is getting intense. William Bell, Christian Aid's head of the Middle East policy, says, due to the lack of humanitarian access, there is not enough available food for people to survive, let alone have a healthy diet. As a consequence, children in Gaza are dying of malnutrition and disease while the world turns a blind eye. That was William Bell from Christian Aid's head of the Middle East policy. Is this gouging? Is this inflation? What is this, Ben? Why is everything happening like this?
It's annoying. That's an overused term that I use, but it's manufactured, I would say, and it's really upsetting, and it's one of those tactics that you see in war, that it's inhumane.
Yeah, well, and it's
simple.
It's definitely against the Geneva Convention and everything else. Sieging like this, where you do not allow a humanitarian corridor or you don't allow any supplies to come in and out, that is against the barring from calling it an absolute war crime. It is incredibly unfortunate that that we just can't get it. On among the humanitarian agency for hunger had just put out that we just as Americans, we waste over, I think, 140 pounds of food per each person. and that's before you go to a restaurant. That's just what we do.
Sure.
Look up the 1967 bridge collapse in Ohio River and Huntington, all from a human-sized bird. Thank you. What is this? The DC Lied or D-Clyde 50. Thank you, D-Clyde, for jumping into the YouTube side of it.
Yeah, well, so you brought up the story of the onion prices rising in Rafah or Gaza in general, food prices out there. Here's an article from Reuters.com that surprised me. I didn't know about this. And if you want to talk about supply chain issues and politics, I guess, here's this story from Reuters entitled the headline here is India extends ban on onion exports indefinitely ahead of general election. So again, not
so they're using the onion for the general election.
Yeah, it's a weird politicization.
Yeah.
There. So here, Mumbai, March 23rd, India has extended its ban on onion exports indefinitely, a surprise move that comes ahead of a general election and is set to exacerbate high prices in some overseas markets. Imposed by India, the world's biggest exporter of the vegetable, in December, the ban was due to expire on March 31st. Traders had anticipated it would be lifted as local prices have more than halved since the export restrictions were implemented, and this season's crop is yielding fresh supplies. However, the government issued an order late on Friday, that was last Friday, that the ban will remain in place until further notice, saying, quote, this extension is surprising. Let me cite who said this. An executive at Mumbai-based export firm who declined to be identified said the extension is surprising and completely unnecessary considering the falling prices with rising supplies from the new season crop.
Wow.
So again, it's upsetting. People should help each other. And find this article at Reuters.com.
Yeah, and we're so used to here in America being able to shout our outrage of prices going up or be able to fight back with the corporations or anybody who may be gouging something. We can all uniformly say something. We have that freedom of speech. Most countries, you don't necessarily have that, and especially if it's being government subsidized, like it seems like this onion company is set at. You can't say anything bad about it because you're technically saying something bad about the government, and then therefore you are a traitor, or et cetera, et cetera. So it's, I don't know. We use the government for our protection, mostly for me. I enjoy regulations where they don't put poison into our food.
Absolutely.
That's the FDA helps us with that. I enjoy.
And that there's a recourse for such things happening.
Exactly, and the same thing with the gouging of prices. So if they turn around, and the reason we have eggs so high up is because we had a bird flu outbreak. There was a bunch of chickens that didn't make it. Millions of chickens didn't make it. Hundreds of millions of chickens. So the turnaround for the gouging. So you turn around and say, okay, well, if Wendy's can do it, you know what I mean? Wendy's can surcharge up and down and fluctuate those prices. I think the issue is we're getting too much into a real-time price situation.
Yeah, 100%.
Where
people freaked out about that Wendy's thing coming out, and like to think that it's just it should never be a tactic.
Yeah. Well, you think about it this way, right? The grocery store back in the day, the grocery store had a new buy when they restocked. So based off of the new buy that they restocked, they would raise or lower the prices of the things in the grocery store. You tell the stock boy, hey, go and make these. Now, go relabel all of these 75 cents instead of 70 cents. And they'd go through with the thing, click, as it goes and changes all the stuff. That takes time. That takes time for the market to adjust. It takes time to go. Now, if you're saying that I can change the prices of a price tag immediately, even before the next shipment comes in, because it's instead of it being based off of what it costs me to buy it, it's based off of what you are willing to pay for. That is a whole different economy structure.
Yeah, it's called captive capitalism.
Captive capitalism.
Basically, the idea, like, you go to a concert and a beer is $15.
Mm-hmm.
So
because I've got you there and you are willing to still pay that $15. Mm-hmm. So as soon as we all say, you know what, we're not going to pay $15, they'll knock it down to $14.
Yeah.
But as long as they can get those schmucks to buy that much and pay that much, then they're going to keep it that way. I mean, it's back to what Cleveland Dennis and I were talking about yesterday, is voting with your dollars. It's the same thing in the economy. The more things that you buy, the more readily available things that you buy, that's what the market is going to respond to, is the things that you buy. Go ahead and give us one more point before we hit commercial break, buddy.
Let me just tease the Not the Onion.
Not the Onion.
For the other stuff. Not the Onion, a great subreddit if you don't mess around with Reddit.
That is fun.
r/Not the Onion. Just a bunch of ridiculous stories. If you're familiar with the Onion, a fake publication that's basically mocking the current times. And these are real stories, though, that seem like, could this even be real? So here's one that I found interesting. Polar ice is melting and changing Earth's rotation. It's even messing with time itself.
Whoa.
So there's, some interesting stuff on the other side of the break here.
Yeah, absolutely. All the different things that are out there. Time itself, how it is a relative. We live in space-time. I don't think we'll go fully into the theory of relativity. But you know what? We'll see where we can get. But the theory of the stock market, you're absolutely right, Daz. The stock market is really based off of feelings. Why do you think Truth Social is worth billions of dollars in the stock market, but yet the actual company itself is losing money? So we'll talk about all of that eventually down the road, but I want to get into some of these more weird topics you've got, Ben. One more segment left on Out to Lunch, WRMN 1410. Join us every day, 12 to 2. Out to Lunch. We'll be right back. That turns your mic off this time.
Click this link now to review my bank transfer. I didn't make a bank transfer. Ugh, another phishing message. Are you frustrated by these too? So much of our lives are online today. To make sure my information is protected, I checked out CISA's Secure Our World resources. They've got 4 simple ways we can stay safe online. First, learn to recognize and report phishing. Next, create a strong, unique password for each online account, and use a password manager if you can. Then turn on multi-factor authentication for extra security, and you'll receive a code when logging in. And finally, turn on automatic software updates for convenience and safety. Click here to track my delivery. Another phishing message. But now I know how to protect myself from scammers, and you can learn too. Go to CISA at cisa.gov/Secure Our World for more quick, easy tips to be safer online.
A dream that's been cooking for years, Maria's Little Italy in Sycamore is waiting for you to come and enjoy authentic recipes handed down for generations. Stop in and enjoy bruschetta, handmade focaccia bread, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more. Dine in, take out, delivery, or catering is all available. Go to mariaslittleitaly.com and see what you've been missing. From their family to yours, welcome to Maria's Little Italy, where food brings families together.
A recent Gallup poll indicated that 38% of Americans are putting off health care because of financial concerns, the highest ever recorded. I'm Dr. Bob Martin, here to serve you every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. Millions of Americans are seeking health advice that will not cost an arm and a leg, so I offer health tips and advice absolutely free. Listen to my show, Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM, the voice of the Valley and the home of Radio Shopping Show.
If you are 50 years and older, you are welcome to join Elgin State Bank's sponsored movie days at Elgin Marcus Theater. It will always be on the second Thursday of each month. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. At 9 a.m., you will hear a very brief message from Sherry Aschenbrenner about upcoming senior events, and movies will begin at approximately 9:30 a.m. Coffee and a donut is complimentary. You can always call the movie theater hotline number of 847-888-7976 to find out what movies are playing each month. The cost is $3 if you are a member of Elgin State Bank, meaning you have an account there, and $5 if you are a non-member. And for more senior information, catch Sherry's Senior Showcase on the third Tuesday of every month at 9:15 a.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
It's heating up at El Diablo Cantina, located by Spring Hill Mall at 113 Southwestern in Carpentersville. Fuel up with authentic recipes from all over Mexico, made fresh daily. Cocktails using the freshest fruits, or your choice of many craft beers go great with the delicious menu. After you fill up with dinner, hit the dance floor and dance the night away with the sizzling salsa dancing on Latin Saturdays, where DJs play the hottest hits. Visit eldiablocantina.com today.
America's Best Restaurants travels the country and features restaurants that you should visit each week. Recently, the cast and crew made their way to Renata's German Restaurant in Hanover Park. Renata serves old family recipes and delicious German-influenced food. Renata's also specializes in a wide variety of traditional German baked goods, too. So, if you've yet to visit Renata's, try America's Best Restaurants choice. Drop in soon for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Visit renatasgermanrestaurant.com.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch, WRMN 1410. I'm sitting here with Ben Demonium Boquest. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. Ben, I think a lot of people did not get my Simpsons reference.
That's a shame.
You didn't get? Did you get my Simpsons reference?
You did. You
about
maybe
about the onions and the belt and the
Abe
Simpson,
Grandpa Simpson, yeah.
Grandpa Simpson part.
Okay.
I needed a new heel for my shoe, so I decided to go to Morganville, which was at the time was called Shelbyville in those days. So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time.
Yep.
Now, to take the ferry cost a nickel. And in those days, nickels had pictures of bees on them. I was like, give me 5 bees for a quarter, I used to say. Like, that's it. Abe Simpson doing it.
Yep.
For the onion stuff.
Old man yells at Bodie McBoatface. No.
That is it. Checking in on the YouTube side one last time. We've got Daz and Cleveland Dennis. They say the same thing. Dennis says, since the Brits took over Portillo's, we have been gouged. But like we still buy their great food. Hey, there you go. Well, that's it. If the demand goes up, man, they will raise the prices. That's just the way it works. Daz comes in with the same exact sentiment. An economic measure, the line at the Portillo's.
Right.
You know the economy's doing good when the line at the Portillo's.
Yeah, they stay filled for sure.
That's it. It's like
I love Portillo's.
What did we talk about before? There was also the stripper recession indicator as well. When people stop having money for the extra dances, then we know that the economy is not doing well.
Extracurriculars,
yeah. So that was something that we talked to economists about a couple years ago. Was that stripper recession indicator?
Yeah, beer consumption.
Yeah, beer is another one. Yeah, alcohol and things like that. But here's the thing: is we used to do a stock market game in class, and that's what I went for. I said, look, if it's good times in the stock market, alcohol. If it's bad times in the stock market, alcohol. So that's what I bought in my fake fake economy class for it.
Love it. That
was there. So you've got a couple more onion stories for us. One deals with not alcohol as a beverage, but something that's like a 90s nostalgia. Like they're trying to there's no possible way. You see some of these things that people buy and you're like, there's no possible way people actually eat this. This is obviously a novelty thing. What do you have?
From the funnily and aptly named newmetalagenda.com, 7-Eleven announces hot dog flavored sparkling water. No word yet on if Limp Bizkit is involved.
Gross.
Like one of those days.
It's already sparkling, so you already get that carbon taste to everything, the carbon dioxide taste to everything, and now you're going to add hot dog water to it? No, thank you.
Yeah. In these memeful times, I feel like this
is memeful time.
This is a headline grabber, and just one of those kind of marketing moves. Kind of funny. If you know, the Limp Bizkit album was called Chocolate Starfish, and the hot dog flavored water.
Hot dog flavored water, yeah.
So I think that's what the angle that they're going at that with. And yeah, I mean, you just know people will buy this as a novelty. 7-Eleven said the Miracle Seltzer have united on 4 new seltzer water flavors: lemon, lime, green apple, sweet orange, and hot dog.
What?
Yeah, that's Mitt Romney's favorite kind of meat.
Everything else sounds so just should be here. It is. It's like if Lay's came out with like okay, well, we're gonna have hot sriracha, we're gonna have just sour cream and onion and fingernail
shoe leather.
Why that sounds so gross.
Yeah, possibly an April 1st joke suggests something of an April Fool's Day prank.
Okay.
So that's probably what's going on there. Just fun. I might get a can of this and just leave it on the shelf. It might go good with the Bloody Mary, to be honest.
I don't think I could come up with a weirder, actually edible drink. Like without using like a condiment in the middle of it.
Right.
Like, okay, well, sparkling mayonnaise. Like that's the only, you couldn't possibly think of anything else. Hot dog flavored water. And then it's sparkling hot dog flavored water.
I mean, think of I have to relate it to this because it's like, big recycling says recycle your Coke can or else you're killing the environment when in reality their carbon footprint is just astronomically larger than if they made the right choices. You could stop putting the blame on the populace like that. But the angle here is, hey, stop throwing out your hot dog water and use that stuff, man. What are you doing? You just throw it. You got hot dog water to throw away?
Oh, no, thank
Jerks.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is sparkling garbage juice.
Right.
So this is it. This is the innovation that capitalism has brought us to the apex of our society. Hey, there's some honkers log right there. I think that was Steve.
Oh, what's up, man?
Steve Thorne. That's who it looked like. If I am mistaken, go ahead and do it. Daz says, made get flavor, make it gasoline as it goes. Thank you for the show. We are going to take a break. Thanks for watching on the YouTube side of it. Thanks a lot for everybody being there.
Thanks, guys. Happy